Ever meet, don't tell him I said so, Frank Viverito, St. Louis Sports Commission. What's your title there, the official title there? President and Grand Poobah of the St. Louis Sports Commission. You're here to talk about, first of all, we have the SEC tournament coming to town.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to start off very differently and try to remind me where we were 16 years ago today.
16 years ago today, we were at the airport.
That's exactly right.
We were at the airport going to the Salt Lake City games.
That's exactly right. I was still in high school at the time. You were much older, but that's okay.
We were at Mike Shannon's at the Lambert waiting for the
That's exactly right. Now I'll talk about the SEC.
Okay, good. Fair enough. I didn't know that was 16 years ago today, though.
Well, I mean, the Olympics are going on right now, so that would tip you off.
Well, okay, but it was today. It was
maybe yesterday.
Okay. Oh, all right. Fake news going on here. I didn't know it was actually today. Okay.
Well,
so
close
16
enough.
years ago in this general area time.
Exactly, Olympics time.
All right. The SEC tournament. When's that coming up?
March 7 to 11.
All right. What do we need to know?
Well, one thing we need to know is there are still some tickets available.
Okay.
Ticketmaster and all the Scott Trade Center outlets. Another thing we need to know is Mizzou is coming on, as Mr. Holder just said, won 4 in a row. And right now, if the tournament started, I believe they'd be in the top 4,
right?
Which is a big deal, ahead of Kentucky.
Right.
And so this is truly anybody's tournament.
Yeah.
We had Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, in town last week, and he was talking about the strength of the league. And do you know that they actually had 2 teams playing for the national championship in 3 different sports in the last year? Everybody knows Georgia played Alabama for the football championship, but Mississippi State played South Carolina for the women's basketball championship, and Florida played LSU for the NCAA baseball championship. So this is a pretty quality league, and it's a big deal for it to be coming to St. Louis.
Yeah, all right. So, can you buy tickets for the whole session? How does that work?
Yeah, at this point in time, you buy tickets for the whole session.
Okay.
They do a general admission night on Wednesday for the first 4, and that seeds 11, 12, 13, 14.
Right.
And then you actually buy tickets for all 13 games during the tournament.
Boy, this is going to be a ground zero for college basketball. You have the Mo Valley tournament, and then you turn around and then have the SEC tournament.
Exactly. There's 2 open days in between for changeover and practices, but we'll have 22 basketball games, 22 postseason basketball games. And, the Valley team's probably only going to get 1 NCAA tournament bid this year, so every game they're playing for their lives.
Right.
And the SEC, they're all playing for seeding, and you'll see likely 8 or 9 of the top 50 schools in the country in town.
Should be a whole lot of fun. March 7th through 11th, where do we get tickets?
Ticketmaster, any Scott Trade Center ticket outlet, or the Sports Commission's website, stlsports.org.
And then what's the story about the Olympic rings?
Oh, the Olympic rings are they're coming to WashU. We're going to build an Olympic rings sculpture on campus at WashU right across Foreman Field.
Right.
Not Foreman. Francis Field.
Right.
And Francis Field, as you all undoubtedly know, is the oldest modern Olympic stadium in the world.
Yes.
What an incredible distinction. And so the IOC, working together with us, is allowing us to build an Olympic rings sculpture right on the corner of Francis Field on Olympian Way on the way down to the field house, which is where Olympic basketball was played during the 1904 games. It's a way to celebrate our legacy and think about how St. Louis can benefit from being at this international table of greatness.
And this is going to help propel you when you bid for the 2028 Olympics, is that right?
Well, the 2028 Olympics are already going to Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, right.
I'll meet you at the airport, okay?
So what about the 2032 Olympics?
Well, unlikely to be back in the U.S. 4 years after L.A., but you never know.
Let me ask you this crazy question. But seriously, though, do you ever see a time where St. Louis could bid on the Olympics?
No, and it has nothing to do with St. Louis. It has to do with any city this size in the United States. the infrastructure needs and the costs are so much that they're going to have to go to a place like L.A. that has almost all the facilities already and has more ability to absorb impact like that.
Do you ever see them picking one city and staying there? Because building all these facilities over and over again sure does seem to be a waste.
I don't know that they'll pick one city, but they might pick one city per continent at some point in time and just go back for efficiencies.
All right. Frank Viverito, always the best. By the way, you still owe me for that meal I bought you 16 years ago at the Lambert Airport.
I'll get you concrete. I'll get you a McGraw concrete at Ted Drew's.
St. Louis Sports Commission President, SEC Tournament March 7th through the 11th at the Scott Trade Center. A whole lot of fun for the family. Thanks for coming in,